Hello everyone. I am very happy to be here for tonight's video because this is my very first New Year's Eve video for 2020. There'll be more, I'm sure. But I'm very excited for this one. And I have some things to tell you tonight. First of all, I wanted to introduce myself to anyone who's coming to my channel for the first time and may not know a little bit about it. My name is Vicki. And my channel is kind of a smorgasbord of a lot of different things. I basically started in the beginning for Social Security people that were living on a fixed income to give them tips and ideas on how to live better on less. And I do have a series included in my channel called Frugal Friends. It's kind of hard to say, where I tell you ideas and tips that I've come across, things that have worked for me. And as I discover more things along the way, I will share those with you too. Ideas on organizing your house, ways to save money when you go to the store, and things, just little things that you can do that could probably help your budget a little bit. Now, I am on a Social Security check, but I also work part-time because the Social Security check that I got is not enough for me to pay the bills that I have right now. I'm still making a car payment. When that gets paid off, things will get a little bit easier on me. But for right now, I am working part-time. And to start off, I am uploading my videos twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's the schedule that I've set up. Now, in the future, I may go to 3 times a week if I can think of some more content, things that might be interesting to the people coming to my channel. If any of you have any ideas for things that you think that I might be capable of doing, please leave a comment below and let me know. And if I'm physically able to do it and I can, I will add that to my list of ideas that I have, and I will try to make those videos. Some of the videos that I'm planning on doing in the future in 2021 will be ride-along videos where I take you in my car when I go places. I will have more baking videos, and of course I will continue with the Frugal Friends on Social Security to help have little tips and things for those of you who live on a fixed income. And then I'm also telling just little random stories about my life growing up as a child and a teenager and even as a young adult. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not so funny, but they're things that I think that people might be interested in. And if you are interested in those, I really appreciate it if you'd give a thumbs up after you watch the video. For those of you who are brand new to this channel tonight, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that when I do upload new videos in 2021, you can know about it and you can come to my channel and watch. Now for tonight's video, I'm doing a baking video. I'm very excited. I guess you can tell I'm very excited about it. I'm doing a baking video for you. And this is like my second or third cooking video I've done. But it'll be my last one this year. Just remember that. So come and go with me to my kitchen, and I will show you how I put together this tasty treat. Thanks for stopping in. Bye. Hello, everyone. I know you can't see me. I'm in my nightgown. This is me here. And you probably won't get to see me because I'm trying to focus on this area over here. Because tonight I'm going to do another baking video for you. And this is a casserole that I make ahead of time, and then I have it to eat on all week. Now this will feed one family for one meal. But for me by myself, it makes quite a bit. And so I fix it up, and then I section it out and put it in these containers like this in individual amounts, and then that way I have it through the week to munch on. So I've got everything already prepared to save time for you watching because there is a lot of prep time involved in it. This recipe is called the One Dish Meal, and I've had it for ages. I actually got it back in the 70s when I lived in New Mexico with my husband in the Air Force from a friend that we met there. And pretty much everybody in my family has got this recipe too, because I gave it to them and they all have tried it. And everybody that tries it really enjoys it. I've got a sister that says she makes it at least once a month. And I make it about once every, I'm trying to get this to where you can see the best. I make it about once every 3 months. But it's good. It's really good. So let me get the ingredients over here and show you how we put it together. Now, it does call for a 3-quart casserole dish, which I don't have. I use a regular cake pan. I'm going to hope it sit here on this because I don't have a covered 3-quart casserole right now. And the first thing you do is spray your pan or grease it. You can take shortening with a paper towel and rub on it or spray it with Pam. I sprayed it with Pam tonight, but I have made it where I've rubbed it with grease. Then you put in the bottom, you have 2 large potatoes chopped up. It says slice, but I like mine chopped in chunks. And you just sprinkle them in the bottom of your casserole dish onto where it's already greased. Spread them out evenly so they cover the whole. And this recipe is very forgiving, so you can add more or less as you like it. If you wanted to put 3 potatoes in here, I'm sure that it would work. I always follow the recipe, but I put it in a larger pan because it has a tendency to overflow if you add extra ingredients to it. So I just started off like this, and this is just the way I've done it. After you put the potatoes in, you sprinkle with your salt and pepper. Now, it does give you an amount of salt and pepper to do it, but I just kind of do it like eyeball it. Sprinkle on what I think will be to my taste on top of the potatoes. I always just sprinkle it till there's a light dusting of black pepper on there. Then after the potatoes goes in, you sprinkle the rice. 1/3 cup of rice. Now, I really like rice, and I usually add extra. So instead of leveling this off, I've actually overed it a little bit because I really enjoy the rice in here. The liquid that you put in it helps the rice cook up along with everything else. So you can add extra. You could probably even add a whole cup of rice, and it would still work out good. So you sprinkle the rice in, and then the hamburger meat, which I have here, 1 pound of hamburger meat. And what I do on my hamburger meat, you sprinkle it in little chunks like this, by the way. I wait until I find a store that has a really, really good sale on hamburger meat. Really cheap. I don't just buy it when I need it. And then to get it for that price, you usually have to buy the large family size container, which could be anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds. But you're going to get it cheaper than that if you buy it that way than if you just paid a regular. And I bring it home and I section it up. I have a little scale. I'll show you here. I have a little kitchen scale. And I weigh it. I slice it up and I weigh out 1 pound at a time. And then I put it in a Ziploc bag and I mash the Ziploc bag flat, real flat. It freezes faster when it's flat and it thaws out faster. Plus it takes up less space in your icebox. Then when you need it for a recipe, if you need 2 pounds, you can just get out 2 of the Ziploc bags to use in your recipe. This one, like I said, only calls for 1 pound. So I only had to get 1 pound of it out. But I catch my hamburger meat on sale and freeze it up. 5 pounds would be 5 bags in the icebox. 10 pounds would be 10 Ziploc bags. Just put it all in there, freezed up. Then after you get your hamburger meat in, it says to sprinkle with some more salt. My hands are messy. A little bit more salty on here. Of course, you can always add more salt and stuff after you get to eating it if you want. Then after you put the second thing of salt on there, you add your onions. It is 1 medium-sized onion. And I like my onion chopped up really, really fine. The smaller, the better. And I just cut this just a little while ago. So, ooh, it is pretty strong. Sprinkle your onions all over the top. The reason I like this casserole, everything is just put in a layer. It's kind of like a dump casserole. I guess this was a dump casserole before dump casseroles were even a thing. I'm going to wash my hands a little bit because that onion is some kind of strong. Ooh. All right, and then after you put your onions in, you have 2 carrots. And I really like carrots. I slice them up like this, little tiny. You can add more than 2. You can. I've even put in as much as 5 carrots when I had them. I don't have that many tonight. I only have the 2 carrots, so I'm going to have to go with it. But I really like my carrots, and I love the way they taste when they're cooked in this recipe. So if I've got extra here, I always slice up extras and put in there. But tonight, just going to be these because I don't have a choice. Then after you put your carrots in, it calls for tomato juice. It calls for 1 pint of tomato juice. Now, I have had times when I wanted to make this recipe and I didn't have any tomato juice and didn't want to bother with going to the store to get it and have to wait. I wanted to cook the recipe right then. So I Googled online a substitute for tomato juice. And it said that you can take tomato sauce and tomato paste and mix it half and half with water. So that's what I did. I take however many cans of the tomato sauce and mix it with 1 can of water and then beat it up really good. And then that makes the same thing. And I've made this recipe lots of times using this, and it always works out the same. I have made it using the tomato sauce like it calls for, and it's good too. But you can substitute the tomato juice. You can substitute the tomato sauce and the tomato paste mixed with water, and it turns out just as good. I think that needs a little bit more water. It needs to be really, really thin. I should have put more water in that from the start. Because this is what helps cook the rice. Okay, then after you get all that in, let's see if it adds any more salt and pepper. Tomato juice overall, cover and bake. And like I said, I don't have the quart casserole, so I use aluminum foil sheets. And I cover it with aluminum foil. I've always used aluminum foil pretty much because this is the only kind of pan that I've ever cooked this in, and it always turns out. I've got my oven preheated. You cook it in a 350-degree oven. And I always put my pan on a cookie sheet so that if anything overflows and drips, it keeps my oven from getting dirty. So I'm going to put this in there. Then after I get my aluminum foil mashed down really good, I'm going to put this in the oven. Cook it for an hour and a half to 2 hours. I usually have to cook it for 2 hours in my oven. And then I will come back after it gets done and show you what the finished product looks like. So I'll see you in about a couple of hours. Okay, I'm back with the casserole that's out of the oven. And let me take this off and show you what it looks like. See? Everything looks to be cooked pretty good. There's the rice. I'm not even recording. There's the rice right there. And the carrot. The main thing is you check it and make sure your carrots are tender. If your carrots are tender enough that you can bite into, then it's cooked long enough. I actually ended up cooking mine for 2 hours in my stove because this stove is in a rental house. It came with the house. It's extremely old. The timer and the clock and the light in the stove don't work. I've got a light on up above it in the hood that does work. But the burners work and the oven works, and that's the main thing. But this is what it looks like completed. Like I said, you could feed a whole family on this for one meal. All you need is some dinner rolls and a little salad. But I'm going to be sectioning it up into little separate Tupperware or margarine or dishes with lids, and I will eat this for the next 4 days. This will be my meal. Let's make enough to last me for a whole entire week almost, depending on how big of a portion. So that's it for this cooking video. Thank you so very much for stopping in. I'm glad that you did, and come back and see me again. Thanks, y'all. Bye.